Today we will discuss object-oriented analysis and design using UML. UML is a graphical language for visualizing, specifying, and constructing and documenting the artifacts of a software system. Now UML is used to create model of a software. Here we are using the term model. So what is model? We all know model is a simplification of reality. So why do we use model? There are many purposes. The very first one is model helps us to visualize. Like when we want to construct a building, before constructing the whole building we always construct a model so that we would have a visualization of the whole house or a whole building or whole infrastructure which you want to develop. Number 2, model helps us to specify the structure and behavior of a system. Third, it gives us a template. Fourth, model also documents the decisions we have made. So these are the 4 purposes of the model, that why do we create model. So what do you mean by object oriented modeling now? Object oriented modeling. So there are 2 perspectives: algorithmic perspective and number 2, object oriented perspective. Now the first is algorithmic perspective. This is the traditional view of software development. In this approach, main building blocks of software are procedural. But In object oriented approach, all building blocks are object or classes. So now we will have an overview of UML. As we all know, the full form of UML is Unified Modeling Language. So I have told you, I want to share one thing with you, that the full form of UML is Unified Modeling Language, but rather we call it as a standard, industry standard, by the use of which design of the software is developed. So this is used to do four things: to visualize the software, to specify the requirements, it helps to construct the software, and it helps to document the software as well. So how it helps in visualizing? Using graphical concepts. And how it helps to specify? Because it specifies the requirements in an unambiguous way. And how it helps in construction? Using programming languages, we can construct, we can develop the software. And how it helps in documentation? It provides us the utility to document all the artifacts like design, the requirements, the prototypes, the plans, and the source code. All we can store with the help of in one file using UML. So there is a paid software known as Rational Rose, which is the actual implementation of the UML. But nowadays we have open source softwares as well. You can try by your own. Those are freely available. Star UML is easiest among all, and you can easily install it in your laptop, and you can do implementation of UML diagrams. Then Agro UML is one. There are a number of the software, but this is very easily available. Or some people use Crack of Rational Rose, and by the use of that Crack we can also make use of Rational Rose to implement UML. Now we will discuss what are the things that are available in UML. Under things we have structural things, then we have behavioral things, then we have grouping things, and in the last we have annotational. Under structural things, the very first type is classes. So today we will focus on this concept first of all, classes. When we have to make use of UML software, we must be clear about the symbol that we use for development of software, and the very first symbol is class. So in UML, class has three parts. First one is the name of the class. Second is the attributes that we want to declare, or you can say variables. And third is the functions. So attributes can be public, these can be private, or these can be protected. When you use UML software, plus sign is used to declare a variable public, minus sign is used to declare a variable private, and hash is used to declare a variable protected. For example, we have a class, the name of the class is window, then the attributes are origin and size, and we declare both of these variables or attributes as public. Then the functions or the methods are open and close. It means whenever we have to make design of our software, we have to declare the classes, number of classes to use for the software in this manner. So before moving further, let's have a look on the various relationships in UML. You might have heard some of these relationships before in your graduation time. The very first is dependency. Second is association. Third is generalization. And fourth is aggregation. So dependency is represented with dotted arrow. Association is represented with solid line. Dependency means when one class is dependent for its complete functionality on the second one, and association is always take place between two classes at the same level. So dependency we know when one class is dependent on the other. Let's focus on association. Suppose we have one class name city and the second class name city 2, and there is a path which we call a root. So these two classes are connected with each other with the help of a root. So this root represents association. It means these two classes are associated with each other. Now an association further contains number of links. Let's take an example that we want to move from our home to bank. So there are number of paths which one can follow. Like one can follow this first path, second path, third path, then on the way the person can came across any hospital along the road, the person can follow this fourth path also, this fifth path also. Across the road we can come across main mall, the person can visit through this and then can go to the bank. It means there are number of ways. If we want to go to the bank, it depends upon us which path we want to choose. So these all options, these all paths are called links. It means जो हमारा लिंक है दैट इज अ सब पार्ट ऑफ एसोसिएशन. So association contains number of links. So that's sufficient for today. First of all, you concept these basic concepts of the subject, then we will move ahead in the next lecture.